Hello and welcome to the unboxing series, where we aim to showcase and highlight creatives, makers, and designers that are based in Africa and making amazing moves in the industry. Today, we have the amazing pleasure of speaking with Akua Buckman, the creative director of Myth House. Yes, I said it, Myth House. This amazing brand has been one of my personal favorites, and they make amazing creations with unusual materials. And I have been a collector, a customer, a fan for the past 6 or so years. And I am so glad that we get to speak to Akua today. I've been carrying Myth House pieces in our store since the start of the brand. And so I can't wait for you to learn more about Akua and get to know her as well. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Now, I need you to know how excited I am about this conversation because, first of all, like, come on, like you haven't, like you've been not as
Available.
as accessible for these types of interactions.
Mm-mm.
And so for your time and this moment, I'm very grateful because I know it's no small thing.
No,
I'm not taking that for granted
but
for
it's
a second.
fine.
I'm not taking that for granted for a second. Please believe me.
No worries. I never took that.
Just needed to get that out of the way.
No
I'm
worries.
so glad to be talking to you. Um,
Fine.
if you can give just your name and the name of the brand, I feel like I could do an introduction, but I feel like it's best coming from you.
No problem. So, my name is Akua Buckman, and I am the creative director for Myth House. Now, Myth House is an accessory brand that uses metal mesh, unique metal mesh designs to create unique pieces, which is just accessories as of right now. We started off with bags, but now we've branched out into like belts and corsets, and we don't know where the brand is taking us. So hopefully exciting times ahead of us.
Yeah,
But this is what we do as of right now.
awesome. I am
Mhm.
a big fan, and I started off interacting with your brand as a fan of
Yeah.
this very unique design. Um, before I even before Adoni Africa became a thing. Like I was
Thank
just like, I
you.
need to have this in my life. And then when I brought it back to the States, everybody was like, where do I get this?
Where do I get it from? Oh, thank you.
Immediately. So I feel like that was like that kind of was one of the interactions that inspired me to
Right.
Africa, because it was like these beautiful things are hiding in Ghana and hiding in these little pockets. And yes,
These little
like
places.
right, like yeah,
And
yes,
there's a big world out there, isn't there?
very big. And like I don't know if like where you truly want to see your bags, if you want to see them everywhere, if you want to kind of stay
Yeah,
niche, if you want them in departments, like I don't know what your dreams are, but
definitely
I feel like
worldwide.
people deserve to people not people deserve, but these designs themselves deserve to be seen because they're
To
so
be
beautiful
seen.
and
Mm, mm,
unique. And
I like
like
that.
and I feel like interacting with you and with the brand the past few years, I've been like just in awe of every collection that you've
Oh,
released.
thank
And
you.
so I'm a big fan first,
Thank you. Clearly,
and
we're working.
foremost. So I know that like I've purchased from you, and I've like seen your design since I want to say 2016, 17, around there.
Mm,
Is when
yeah.
I started seeing your designs, when I started to be in Ghana more. And so can you kind of tell me like what when you started the brand, what well, let's just start with when you started it. What was going on in your life when you started Myth House? Like what was that experience? What was happening?
So starting the brand, definitely. I'd done my master's, which was in print design.
Okay.
And for my like final project, I had to do, it was print design, so I had to do textiles where I used rust to dye fabrics.
Mm,
With research and stuff like that, I came across like some mesh-like design of a bag
mhm,
and just thought that let me explore it a little. So I came back to Ghana from the UK, and it was testing it out just to see what I could create out of it. And everybody, like a couple of friends, wanted the bag. Like I was just like, let me just make a sample. I didn't think it was going to be anything
yeah.
that was going to catch on, honestly. Like metal bags, it didn't really jump
Mm,
at me. So like in the beginning, we actually started with scrap metal
okay.
because actually, like when I was doing the collection, I was using scrap metal to how do you call it? So I was playing a lot in the scrap
Mhm.
device. So yeah, kind of a dirty girl. But after that, I just started to explore, okay, so where am I going to source mesh from if two people want the bags? Like now I had to make them. And it started off as order basis, just it takes 2 weeks to be able to deliver to you.
Mhm.
And bit by bit, we were able to like deliver maybe, I think we started off in 2014, actually, probably mid-August, yeah, 2014. And clearly we've been around for about 8 years. It's a
Yeah.
big one. I actually didn't think I thought it was this anniversary, and I was like, wait, how old are we? Wow, wait, that's a
Wow.
whole yeah. So it's evolved, it's grown. We now have collections, we now have range of products, and we just can't I don't know where the brand is going as of right now. I can't say where it's going, but I'm ready to see all the new parts we're about to chart.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Mhm.
Um, I I didn't even realize 2014. Like that's
Mhm.
huge. And okay, like that already tells you that like the fact that you had to like think about it, how many years you've been doing this is
Yeah.
like you're just doing the thing. You're not
Just going.
thinking, yeah, you're
Mhm.
not like 1 year anniversary, yay, party,
No,
anniversary celebration and all this stuff, bang bang every year. You're not like the rest of us
no,
have
we're
to
just
celebrate them.
on it. Like,
She's
what's next?
on it.
Okay, we need to move. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I love that. I love that because like I feel like the times we're in, some people
yeah,
need to, well, me, I need to celebrate all the wins. Otherwise,
yeah.
I feel like I start to just like blow through things and like not be as grateful. And that's just me. That's how I process life. So I'm just like, I need to sit here and thank God for like getting me through this
Oh
moment.
yeah, definitely. I feel like that was me possibly this year
Yeah.
because I was just like, oh yeah, so we have to like do something for the anniversary. I think that maybe there's also that thing where it's like, okay, you're looking for bigger milestones. So it's like, okay, I'm waiting more for the 10 year. But
Mhm.
then it was like this year, it was like, wow, like we're actually eight. Like, yeah, I'm gunning for 10,
Yeah.
but we're actually eight. Like
Yeah.
done a lot. That's like a lot
Wow.
of collections. That's a lot of how do you call it? Like um workforce you're also adding to the brand as you're carrying along. So I took a minute to actually now appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't think I did that for the 7th year. I don't think I did that for the 6th year. But then
Mhm.
this particular year, I actually now look back and I was like, okay, no, honestly, I think I have to like just be appreciative of the fact that like we're not still taking orders
Mhm.
and doing like a 2-week wait. Like
Right.
we are big enough to produce and send out to actually stockists as well,
Right.
which is, I mean, with
Yeah.
you as how you call it,
Yeah.
it's definitely growth
Yeah.
and it's something to be celebrated. So we took some time out to
That's
do that.
good. That's
Yeah.
really good. I love that for you because
Yeah.
I know how it can get when you're an entrepreneur. It's just like
Mhm.
put your head down and you're just doing it and you're just and next thing you know, you're just like, who did all of that? How did all of that happen? Like where
Exactly.
was I? Why didn't I take a picture or something? I don't know. So
Yeah.
I get that. I get that.
Mhm. It's good.
So just getting back to like the fundamentals of the brand,
Right.
like
Mhm.
what, so you were playing around in the scrapyard, you were like
It was scrappy.
exploring, dying with rust and like doing all
Yeah.
incredible things already and trying to just see where it took you basically.
Yeah.
You say that that's how you kind of go from collection to collection is just letting the like letting the evolution of the brand and where you are now and how you're thinking now to help you create what's next. Like what does
Yeah.
that creation process kind of look like in your world?
Okay, so I think it's changed over the years, definitely. Like in the beginning, it's just like, okay, name the design, then finding the, how do you call it? Like, I used to outsource welding, outsource spraying, outsource like all the other like elements that come to creating the bag.
Mhm.
But then now we're able to have all of that under one roof. So it's just the design. I do the design. I've always done the design. I still do the designs.
Mhm.
I create them, then we choose the colors, and then the welders fabricate them. Then it goes off to the spraying departments where they spray, we bake them in the oven, and then we do the finishing touches, and then it goes into stores, it goes into, how do you call it? And that's basically it. Like it sounds, I'm just really just briefed it.
You just
But
breeze
yeah,
through.
it's quite it's quite a production.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, so that's basically it.
I feel like you're just like you're a very humble person. You should just like always like, oh yeah, like it's not that big of a deal. Like
Yeah, it's
it's a little something,
that.
it's a whole brand. Just like I mean, like
Maybe
it's
it makes it easier to handle. Maybe.
it see, yeah. I can see I can understand why that's your approach.
Yeah, that's what works for me.
Whatever works for you, that's how you have to do it.
Yeah.
So, so after talking about your inspiration a little bit and how you
Mhm.
get there now, how would you say, or where would you say like your desire to even be in fashion? Like where did that stem from? Did you like, was that your dream from when you were a child? Like when did that kind of become something that was even on your radar?
So I always wanted to be in fashion. I always felt like I wanted to have like a clothing brand or like I wanted to be in fashion one way or the other. So even with my master's, it was more to do with textiles,
Hmm.
creating textiles in order to do like a clothing brand that was how to go, which is still like a dream of mine.
Okay.
Um, so maybe watch out for this space. But based off of that, then I saw this opportunity to start making these bags, which obviously, like, at the time, like, there weren't that many people that were creating metal bags. I feel like there's like an Indian, how do you call it, or some of these ones that you see in the Arabian markets and stuff. There's the little clutch purses that you see from them. So I just explored that, and I was glad that I was doing that, because at the time, I think when I'd come back to Ghana, it was just a lot of brands had started, but it was using the same African prints with different fabrics like silks and stuff. And it was a good market to probably have Hajiko, but I just didn't think that I was ready to like start off a clothing brand as well. I wanted to find what other Hajiko, and I thought the accessory department was not bad. Like, I don't think there were that many things that were coming. We're doing, like, you would see stuff, but it was leather. It was Ankara prints and stuff like that. So I said, let me just give it a go with the metal bags and see where it goes. And well, here we are.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Now I just need to note that, like, even as you're describing your process, like, I feel like and I see this when I see you, like when I see how you dress and how you carry yourself, like you want something to be excellent before you put it out. And you don't just you don't just like, oh, let me just experiment and then the people will
No.
be like, no. It's been refined and refined and refined before you put it
thank
out. And so
you.
there's like an excellence that you operate within that I've definitely seen in your designs, and then also just like how you operate. So I just
you.
wanted to call that out.
Thank you. Like, I need to go back to God concerning that.
Yeah, yes, please do.
That's an attribute that he added. I'm gonna have to speak to him
Yes,
about it,
yes,
because
yes, yes. He sprinkled that in there plenty.
he sure did.
Yes, yes. So so even in your your you're desiring to have a clothing line and your interest in different textiles and all of that processing, like, do you feel like you experienced a lot of hurdles and hardships in kind of landing on starting a brand? Like, do you feel like you faced a lot of challenges and obstacles in that process?
And then this is in regards to myth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. Like, I don't even know if I am not still facing challenges.
Yeah.
It's I wouldn't say it's probably the environment,
Mm-hmm.
but there's just a lot of things that come into, like, there's nothing comes in easy for anybody. Obviously outsourcing work and craftsmanship especially
Right.
is one of the difficult, how do you call it, like, even with recently it's finding another fabricator to,
Mm-hmm.
like, how do you call it, to add to the team, but it has to be of a certain power, because we're producing certain things at a certain level,
Right.
or we're doing things with a certain kind of finish. So
Mm-hmm.
when the new person is coming on board, they need to be of a certain, that even if we were tweaking or we're adding on to their skill sets,
Mm-hmm.
it's good enough that like, the products don't look, I keep saying, like, one person can't create this shape and the
Right.
next person creates the shape and it's not looking alike. Like, it
Right.
has to look like it's one
Consistent.
hand creating all of
Right.
it.
Right.
As much as we're handmade, it doesn't have to have that much flaws.
Yeah.
So from the beginning, from the onset, my challenges at the time were trying to find the right team. I think we were only able to put together a full team and move into, like, the in-house factory must have been 3 years ago.
Okay.
So for like for the other 5, basically running around, going to one part of Accra to go and find the welder, then the other part of Accra to go and get spraying done. Then, like at the time, we were also doing the fabric inserts.
Right.
So we had to get like there was a seamstress on another side of town that was doing the inserts. So you pick up the welding, then you send it to the sprayer, wait another week, 2 weeks, drop it off with, how do you call it? And that was the routine. Like it was like a Tuesday afternoon. It's like, I drive this way, go that way. Like most people used to say, like, I feel like you spend so much time, like you spend your life in your car, like you're constantly driving to places.
So nice.
So yeah, exactly. So did that for quite a number of years, and then finally decided to like put together the team. But even that, it's like making sure we have the right people, because people fall along the wayside. How do you call it? And I was even speaking to my mom a couple of days ago, and she was like, do you remember we used to go all the way, like we used to leave Accra, and we used to go and source mesh from like scrap in Takoradi in order to bring it. Yes.
Wow. Can you just how far is that drive?
So that drive, so from Accra to Takoradi would be 3 to 4 hours.
Okay. Just because people are going to be watching this, and they're going to understand what that distance is. It's not like that's like from here to New York.
Drive.
It's not simple.
Yeah.
Just a source.
It's not down the street, clearly.
Yeah.
So we used to do that. She would probably be there, buy the stuff, and then put them on on a bus coming to Accra.
Wow.
And then I would have to go and pick it up, go and, how do you call it, source it. We've come a long way.
Yeah, you have. Like the patience that it takes, I feel like, to develop a brand it's already comes with its challenges, but because you're using such a unique material, it will come with some additional challenges.
It sure does.
Like I feel like I try to convey that to people, but that's why this conversation is so important, because people, they see the creation and they don't know all that's put into it. They don't understand the journey that it took for it to get to where it is. And so I want more people to know, like,
definitely
I feel like I invest a lot of time in sharing information with the people that walk into my store. So it's not just, you're not just buying something. You're not just buying a bag. Like there's a story behind it, and there's
full experience.
Yes, there's a cultural, inclusion in there as well. And so it's important that that people know, a better representation of the process and what that can look like at times. So thank you. So what materials, like what's like your current collection, what material is that specifically? Like what type of
it's metals, but it's metal mesh, so it's galvanized mesh. And I think the handles now, we used to use leather handles before, but we're branching into metal handles, and now with that's also like stainless steel.
Okay.
So most of it is steel.
Right. So you're still spending quite a bit of time at the scrapyards. Like
no.
I mean, like in a manner of speaking, like how are you getting, like what the next version of this will look like?
Well, given the fact that like obviously the orders have grown, but we're not going to be finding, how do you call it, you'll find stuff in the scrapyard, but it won't be the same. So then you don't have one unique design running through. So we now have source our mesh from China.
Okay.
And we have different designs. So like there's like a round shape for the, how do you call it, the galvanized, then there's like the hexagonal, and we just introduced the square. So
Okay.
we're looking, so we speak to them and then try and fabricate mesh designs that work with, how do you call it, so they're more interesting designs that we're looking to introduce into the market. Yeah. We're
Right.
not in the scrapyard anymore.
I didn't
Left there,
stop. Yeah. Turned
left there a while ago.
So, so you're telling us a lot about your journey with the brand. Can you share just a little bit about like your journey personally? Just like not too deep, but like like when like where did you go to school? Why did you choose to come back and stay in Ghana? Like tell us, like give us a little bit of a little bit of Akua.
Well, I went to school. Most parts of my school was in Ghana. So I did nursery, primary, what do you call that? That would be like basic education, yeah.
Yeah.
And then well, high school,
Mhm.
uni,
Yeah.
first degree here in
Okay.
Ghana. And then I just did my master's in the UK.
Okay.
Um, did I think about staying in the UK? Yes, but I feel like there was also a part of me that said that like you would eventually go home.
Mm-hmm.
You eventually have to go home. Like home is home. Like there's no house because family, there's
Yeah.
the food,
Yeah.
and there's just everything
Yeah.
to go back to. So I didn't want to start a life there where I would um get saturated in the system and want to have to leave.
Yeah.
And then now it's a dilemma of, okay, let me give it another 2 years, let me give it another 3 years, let me give it, and then you're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like, okay, let me go back home. And at the time, like I was thinking about the textile company.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, then I'll go and start that. And then I started with the bags and it's grown. So that has just been the journey. Like, I don't think I really, I'm that person that actually just makes it. I'm like, okay, like I'm going back. I'm going to have to try and start. If it's not working, maybe then I'll have to start looking for other opportunities. Like you could still just apply for a job somewhere. And if it worked out,
Yeah.
then you would take that opportunity. But let me at least give it a go and know that I gave it a go than to not try at all. And clearly, here
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah. Now, I feel like it's very interesting because a lot of people who end up in fashion, not everyone, but a lot of people who are in fashion have like worked for like some big name, somebody,
Mm,
whatever, and then they, you know, with that experience, they go on to do their own thing,
yeah.
and you don't necessarily have that sort of.
I don't. I did do like an internship during my master's with Kate Geiger.
Mhm.
So I did that, but even that was just maybe a 3 month
Right.
internship that I would say I picked a lot from. So like trying to put together a collection,
Right.
trying to make sure that like, so you put out all your designs, all of that, like the entire process. That's basically probably where I picked it up from in
Mhm.
order to, so I got a little briefing on how to like manage all of that. But I think most of it I've done by myself.
Right.
But then there's also books. There's also like watching of things on YouTube in order to like just other documentaries
Mhm.
and just trying to see, because you always have to, one way or the other, you would have to figure out your own module or your own structure for your
Right.
company, one way or the other. Yeah.
Right. I
Mhm.
understand. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like that also lends to the fact that like you kind of had your own voice. Like
Mhm.
very early on, and
Mm,
like just getting into the medium that you would be able to translate that into. So
mm.
that's very inspirational because
Oh,
I
thank
know
you.
that we pull a lot of inspiration from other places outside of ourselves a lot of the time, but I feel like a lot of the time we don't necessarily give enough credence to what God has already placed inside of us.
Mm,
And
yeah.
so I feel like that's worth mentioning. This is what
Yeah.
happens.
Okay, so in terms of sustainability, definitely it's been just trying to start off like with recycling.
Mhm.
There's also reducing production where we are just not trying to produce too many products where it just sits and then the next collection comes and it didn't the other collection didn't sell out.
Right.
So reducing production, at least we know it. So, to some extent, I feel like people keep saying, well, isn't that you losing out on money or you losing out on potential customers and stuff like that? But in order to help where we don't have stock sitting on us and have to like maybe dispose of it, all of that, we are trying to like work within a certain number of products that we make or we produce per collection.
Right.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Okay. So
Mm.
I think that it's important to note that like um Myth House is like the material that you use is um it's like it creates sustainability. It's
Mm-hmm.
sustainable.
It's
Like
already
in definition,
it
metal
is.
is like it's durable. It's not
Yeah.
like leather where it starts to dry up and flake
Mm.
and like all of
Mm-mm.
that. And I know a lot of those can be restored and stuff, but again, that's materials going into it.
Yeah.
And so it's not necessarily sustainable.
Mm.
But like these metal bags, like these are not, you know, they don't fold, they keep their shape and all of
Mm.
those things. So I think that just the uniqueness of the material and the process makes it
Yeah.
sustainable. Um, and and so I feel like that's one of the places that I see a lot of brands are trying to do more
Mm.
in and get away
Yeah.
from the fast fashion, and people are being more
Exactly.
mindful of how they're spending um well, trying to, and um and and investing in more timeless pieces
Yeah.
that they can have for a long time. And I feel like that's one of the things that I really appreciate about Myth House, because
Mm.
like I'm still rocking the very first one that I got.
We'll have
And
that
it
as well.
doesn't, like, it never gets old. Like people are
Mm-mm.
still like, where can I get one? And I'm like, too
Yeah.
late, sorry.
That's gone.
A little petty, but saying like, you should definitely come and shop Myth House so you don't miss out on the next
Hmm.
iteration of the collection, of the new collections.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is one of my favorites. The
Mm.
yellow envelope. I love
Yeah.
this. I get so many compliments on this piece because I feel like one, it's a very striking color, and like it's such a cool shape. And
Mm.
and it always catches eyes. Like,
Does.
so like you said, it shouldn't be collecting dust anyway.
It
Like,
shouldn't.
if you can't find use for it,
It
I
shouldn't.
feel like you need some fashion prints, maybe.
You sure do
Because
because they're
like
timeless
it's
pieces,
giving wasteful.
honestly. It's given
Find some,
definitely given wasteful. You can find
you
the
can
use
find your
for
way to
it.
rock it. Like,
Exactly.
so I feel like, but I feel like when people see your collection, your brand, your pieces,
Yeah.
like they think about durability and they think about um like how it can stand up for a long time.
A
And
long
it's
time.
not trendy. Like it's not like it's it's unique, and a lot of the unique things are coming out right now, but I feel like it's you've been doing this and it's timeless. You make it timeless. So I appreciate that about the brand as well. So getting getting back to all up in your business, what is your favorite food?
Fufu. Funny enough, I had this conversation yesterday. It's definitely fufu. I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say fufu or banku, but like who wins every time?
Yeah, no. Fufu is fufu. It
Yeah,
will be fufu any day.
yeah, I hear
Yeah.
that. Okay. So I feel like we've already kind of established this, but I feel like I'll just ask you because it's a question I ask. Um, what what do you feel like sets you apart from other brands?
I mean, it's definitely the metal mesh. It's vibrant colors of like a rigid material
Yeah.
being used as like a fashionable piece, but it's definitely the metal mesh. I think people come and it's like, oh, wait, it's metal, it's light.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, so I think it's the metal mesh that sets us apart.
Awesome.
Mm.
Um, what would you say, like, as long as you've been an entrepreneur, as long as you've been doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing, your purpose,
Mm.
what would you say is the most significant success that you've had? Or that the thing that like if you ever feel discouraged, you like go back to, or like what is the thing that kind of stands out?
That
Like,
stands out.
mm-hmm,
So I think it must have been like maybe 3, 4 years, 4 or 5 years ago, probably. Um, I had been doing the bags. I know we were making sales, we were growing and stuff like that, but I feel like I go to events and I see my friends or people I know using the bag. But it was one day I was just driving in town and I see a girl crossing the streets. And like I was like, I know her from nowhere,
mm,
like nowhere. And she had a bag.
yeah.
And that was the moment for me. I was like, I must be working. Like this is such a random person that
Yeah,
it's not doing it also. For me, I feel like most of the other people, I looked at it as it's a loyalty buy, it's
right.
a let me support her kind of how do you call it. But for her, I was just like, even if it was a gift
Yeah,
somebody, but it was just the fact that she was using the bag and I say to people like, don't buy it because like you're doing me a favor, but like I want you to buy it or like purchase it because you actually like it and like you can identify with the brand or you can
right,
identify with the product you're using because I'll want you to love using our products.
right,
That if it's like, oh, I need a black bag to go with this, and you have the black myth, it's the bag that you would choose, you
right.
know. So that was the aha moment for me. I feel like sometimes it's like, oh, is
Yeah,
it going to be like, oh, you were mentioned here? So I think that was it for me.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That kind of leads me to another question.
Yeah.
How do you, like, what feeling do you want people who purchase and wear your pieces? How do you, like, what is your hope for them, like, and how you want them to feel and in your pieces?
So definitely, I mean, like the brand that stands for like the modern, youthful, trendy oats woman.
Mhm.
So that's who we basically designed for, and that's what I expect. Like the bag brings out of you or the belts bring out of you.
Yeah.
Like if you're the modern woman and you identify with it, then that's your, how do you call it? But I just wanted to bring a certain confidence, a
Yeah.
certain sophistication, like feeling very trendy. Like, and that's the thing, like when you're using the bag and you have people stopping you to like get your attention, not because of anything, but it's just like, oh my God, like where did you get that bag from? That sort of thing. It's a great feeling, and I want that for everybody. And I
Yeah.
want that for our myth muses, especially. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I love that. I can definitely say that I have a confidence when I carry my bags.
When you carry it,
And
that's
and then, it's just reinforced by all the compliments that I get. Where can I get 10? And I feel like this is my second favorite after
the
my
second
like
the
this one, like she gets a
Gee.
lot of attention. I've had people ask me to buy it from me, and I was
Yes.
like, step back, please.
Many times that happens to me as well. It's like, okay, you need to sell this bag to me right now. Like I'll buy it off of you.
Right.
And yeah, that's definitely been my experience most of the time.
Yeah.
Like luckily for me, I probably have like maybe I'm just using a product that I know that somebody's going to ask for it. So I always have like a backup. But
Yeah.
with most of the collection that is gone,
Right.
even today, I remember somebody calling me saying, I want this particular bag. And I was
Right.
like, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like it's
That's
gone. I really want to help you, but it's gone. Like there's
yeah.
nothing we can do about that.
Right.
And it's good because it gives people like, okay, when this collection is out, if I want it, I really have to
Right.
get it before it's out.
Exactly.
And that's the best thing for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I hear that. Um,
Yeah.
so I talked about this a little bit when we started, but
Yeah.
like, where do you see Myth House? Like, how far do you want Myth House to go? How big do you want Myth House to be? Like, I mean, like, I feel like maybe you have like a high level sort of idea of what you want, and you're not gonna like, it's there. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be awesome. Or this is where I have to be.
So it's definitely different place, but it's department stores. So Net-a-Porter, like it has to reach far and wide. I
Yeah.
don't think we're trying to be limited. We just want like a limitless, how do you call it? Like if it's in Hong Kong, if it's in the States, if it's in Australia, like we are pushing to the point where it's reachable to all modern, youthful, trendy women.
Mhm.
So across the globe, it has to reach out to all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about you, but as an entrepreneur, I feel like I have to be very intentional about like the breaks I take and the rest that I get. Otherwise, I will spend all day and all night doing this,
Mm,
and my husband will not be happy, and I will neglect every other aspect of my life in order to to keep this business going if I allow it to run my life. And so, what would you say? How do you cultivate balance in your life and business? Do
I'm
you
so
have you have you accomplished any level of balance?
I'm not too sure. I don't think there's like how do you call it? There's like a set routine, but I do know that I don't get to the burnout point.
That's
So it's
good.
just like, okay, I've been doing this, like it's been back to back. It's like photo shoots, it's how do you call it? It's production, it's preparing like how do you paperwork and stuff like that. And it's just a little overwhelming that like now you're not just processing, you're not giving other people like you're not giving family time and stuff. You need
Mhm.
to take a step back.
Yeah.
So I would take that step back
Hmm.
and then yeah, just rest. Like um I don't think I can make it today because like you won't get the full version of me.
Yeah.
So then maybe it's better not showing up at all.
Right. Right.
Exactly. So then, I mean, it's taken me a while because if maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was working on Christmas Day.
Wow.
And that's like, okay, just a couple of people saying, oh, I'm just picking up
Yeah.
a bag or something from the store. And then it's like 10 different people
Wow.
picking up things. And now you're not sure what to do.
Yeah.
You are in the production process, you are just doing
Mhm.
all of that,
Yeah.
and you're not taking any breather for yourself.
Mhm.
And honestly, it's you have to just pace it. I
Yeah.
think that's where I got to, where it's like, okay, stop.
Yeah.
If you don't sell, if you're not in the store today, then you miss out on these sales. Like, what really would happen?
Right. Will you die? Yeah.
Will you die?
Yes.
You're definitely going to eat tomorrow.
Right. Right.
So it's just that sort of thing where you come to understand balance. And I feel like even with social media now and how there's like a unsung, like there's a theme going on, like take your time, take a break,
Soft life.
pause a bit. Exactly. And
Yeah.
it's just like, if nothing even reminds you of that,
Yeah.
I think our entire surroundings as of right now is reminding us to do that.
Right.
So that's actually also very helpful.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like two more questions and then we'll let you go. But okay, so as you're talking about like the importance of balance, um like do you have a go-to, like I'm taking a break, I'm going to the spa, or I'm going to the beach, or I'm going to travel, or like what is your go-to, like I'm taking a break, this is what I'm doing?
I'm taking a break. I'm going to the beach.
Okay.
It's the beach. It's
Yeah.
the waking up to waves for me.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes,
So
yes.
I'm taking
Unbeatable.
a
Yeah,
break. I need to just calm my mind. I need to wake up to the fact that like there's not that the chaotic
right.
noise and
Yeah,
the city vibe.
yeah,
It's waves and it's just the calmness.
mm,
That's what works for me.
yeah. I love
The
that.
water body for sure.
Yes, love that. Okay, so in terms of your own style, what is the staple outfit look like to you? Like, what is the staple wardrobe for you? Like, I must have blank, blank, and blank in order for me to stay on this desert island with no department stores or anything.
T-shirts and a palazzo pants.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Simple, easy,
Simple, clean, yeah,
comfortable. And what
comfortable.
shoes are you wearing? What shoes are going with this outfit?
Slippers, like they're just slides or
That
sandals. Like
slides.
yeah,
Easy.
comfort. Yeah, easy and just chic. Just keep
Love
it
that.
simple. Yeah.
That. So I want to thank you, thank you, Akua, for taking the time to have this conversation. I know it took us a while to get it
It took us a
together,
while.
but now I can stop harassing you about this. So I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for me too.
Congratulations to you. You don't have
And
to hear
you
about
for
this.
pinning
Yes.
me down.
Yeah. And I just have to thank myself for being relentless.
Honestly, I'll give it to you. You do have the patience.
But I
But
really,
no,
really
thank you also for
appreciate
this opportunity. I really would have pushed it to the limit, but thank you for really like letting me know that we're really
it.
doing this. And like it's been an awesome experience. So thank you very much.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
And yes, I just thank you. And I can't wait for people to see your newest collection. Can you
Hmm.
just give a little bit of a little something like
a little sneak peek
A
of one
little, yeah, a
because
little.
let me just get a
Um,
few pieces for you.
yes. Like, like, I love it. I love it. The square, the yellow, I love
Yeah,
it.
the yellow, the
It's
handle, the shape.
it's flawless. It's
It's
amazing.
giving
It's
and giving.
giving. And the black,
The
yes.
black and its matness
It's the madness for me. Like this is going to be gone. This is going
is this is going to be a problem.
it's gonna be a problem. I love,
Very.
yes. Is that completely round or is that like an
It's
oval?
completely round.
Round, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have
So
to get all of them now for myself.
that's
Please.
the problem. I feel like because I see them all the time, they just
The blue.
make me
This is
feel
like a cobalt
blue.
blue
So
or
it's
like I love that.
the
They're so
shapes. So
so
these are
nice.
the shapes. So these
Yeah,
are the it's either the square or the round. So this is the Nikki, and then this is the Zani, and the different shapes. But these new metal handles,
metal
I'm
handles.
excited about.
Yes.
And obviously, they all come with detachable chains. We've been
Mhm.
doing that for some time. But this is what you should be looking out for.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
And
Mitties.
and I don't want to hear anybody like telling me anything. If they didn't come in and get one and it's gone, I don't want to hear anything.
It's gone.
When it's gone, it's gone. So
Exactly.
don't get mad at
So
me. Understand this is fashion.
this is
One day
it.
it's here and one day it's
One
gone.
is here, and the other day it's out.
Yeah. So
Tim
like
Gunn told
you
us.
heard Tim Gunn, like you told us you should have listened. I'm sorry.
Let's not be playing this. Yeah.
But again, thank you so much for
Thank
talking to
you
me and
too.
sharing with the unboxing series. And we will be
Mhm.
looking out for exciting new things in
Yay.
fashion, in accessories and fashion in the
Yeah,
future. So
exactly.
we're looking forward to all the exciting things that you're going to be coming with. And we thank you.
We'll be preparing for all of that as well.
Yes.
And thank you too.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.